What's up everyone, Arctic here, and today I'm providing you guys my free-for-all overview on Gears of War Judgment. Now if you guys remember, I actually discussed the whole playtest experience at Epic Games for Gears of War Judgment. There were 9 other people with me. I have links to the videos that I've already done, which is that playtest overview and overrun down in the description, so you guys can check those out down there if you haven't heard them already. Now with this video, I'm going to focus on discussion about free-for-all. I'm not going to discuss weapon balance, although I really want to. I cannot discuss weapon balance yet. One of the reasons that I cannot do that is simply because we're talking about a game that's 6 months out at this point, and anything I discuss about weapon balance now probably won't be the case when the game comes out. So I don't want you guys to have some expectation or get all upset because I said something and then when the actual game comes out it's nothing like that. So you guys have like this preconceived negative or positive association with a weapon, and it's not actually like that. So what I'm going to be talking about with the weapons that I can discuss is basically how they played out in certain scenarios, you know, how I use them. And I used every weapon that I could possibly get my hands on, and I'm going to try to discuss that. Now with the other videos that I have about that playtest, you know, when I can actually release information on those, then you guys will hear my thoughts on the rest of the game. So with free-for-all, there was 2 maps that you guys are familiar with from packs. I'm going to be talking about those 2 specifically, Gondola and Library. Gondola is the really vertical map. I think there's like 5, maybe 6 levels of the map total. There's a lot of like winding, it's almost like a maze, I guess. A lot of winding paths and little corridors. It's probably the best free-for-all map that I got the chance to play, in my personal opinion. I loved it for free-for-all. It was really good. One of the things that I want to emphasize, and you guys will hear me emphasize in the future, is that spotting is really important. Yes, even in free-for-all, spotting is so important because of the whole verticality and falling off of ledges. So if you are fighting someone and they're right near a ledge and they decide to fall off, you have to make a decision either to pursue that person or stick to your positional advantage. Now, with a map like Gondola, there's so many different ledges and people can just like disappear that if you fall down and pursue them, they could be in a corner waiting for you and have their shotgun out, just blast you to pieces as you try to guess where they went. So spotting is really important, and again, I'm going to echo that throughout some of my videos that you guys see in the future. Now, in terms of like power weapon placement, everything was pretty good. I think the weapons I could talk about: Breach Shot, Scorcher. Scorcher is very similar to what you guys remember in Gears of War 3, except now that there's no active damage boost, it actually feels a little bit better to use. And I found myself trying to pick that up, like if I didn't have a shotgun, I would be like, oh, you know, I have my Lancer, let me go find a shotgun, or let me go find a Scorcher real quick because I knew where it was on the map. So I'd run over there, pick it up, and then try to spray some people down. I did get quite a few kills with it, but it felt very similar to the non-active version of the Scorcher in Gears of War 3. I used it quite a bit. Now the other weapon, the Breach Shot, there was a Breach Shot and a Sniper on Gondola, and you guys are going to hear me say this a lot. I actually talked about it in my PAX overview of Gears Judgment. I just am like at odds with the Breach Shot and the Long Shot, just simply because I feel like the Breach Shot negates the purpose of the Long Shot because of the fact that the only thing that the Long Shot really gives you an advantage of is that it has a longer distance because of the scoping function of it. But the Breach Shot basically serves the same purpose. If you get a headshot with the Breach Shot, they're done. One shot. Same thing with the Long Shot. So, I don't know. I just, personally, I love the Breach Shot. I just don't see why there needs to be 2 on a map. Maybe if there's some more maps where there's this long distance, clear advantage of the Long Shot, then it might work. Library kind of had that because there was this like tower in the middle and Breach Shot is across the map. But you know, there's a couple times where I got a sniper on a player that was or I got a Breach Shot and I sniped a player across the map with the Breach Shot. So I don't know. You guys will get to see once you play it and tell me how you feel. But I was kind of at odds with that. Now with Library itself, it played more like a traditional map. There's a few places that you could fall off. I guess in total there's like 3 levels of the map, but really most of the time you're only on 2. So there's not this whole like verticality factor that comes into the map. It's more of a traditional Gears of War map. You know, one side controls the other side, and you gotta fight over power weapons. And I kind of found that to be the case with free for all, in particularly Boomshot. A lot of guys were heavily focused on Boomshot, and it seemed like that could swing the favor of a match in your direction if you grab the Boomshot. So power weapon play definitely comes into effect when you think about free for all and being able to control one of the key power weapons. And I think you guys will kind of find that to be the case when you get your hands on it. Now, in terms of the weapons overview, I'll start with some of the weapons that we all know. The Lancer feels pretty good. Skylos was using it quite a bit more than I did. I actually was heavily focused on the Hammer Burst, which I found useful in a lot of different scenarios, but it seemed like I was in the minority, and that seems to be the case with the Hammer Burst. You know, the majority of people there that used it were like, man, I don't know, you know, quite how you're so effective with the Hammer Burst. I've tried to pick it and it's not as good. So, I mean, I could, its purpose serves like a medium to long range in most scenarios, but I felt like I could use it pretty close in some situations, and I could out Hammer Burst a Nasher guy every once in a while. But, you know, predominantly I was using it at long range, and I was trying to get the jump. And then I might switch to a Nasher or switch to my pistol and try to finish off a guy if I felt like I had him hurt enough with the Hammer Burst. Lancer is more, again, like, I don't want to say it's like a spray as much. I felt like you had to be a lot more accurate with it and making sure you were connecting with all your shots. Because there's no stopping power, it seems like there's a bigger emphasis on hitting your shots versus just spraying and hoping that stopping power slows the guy down enough so that you can get a kill on it. So with the Lancer, you know, you have to kind of think about how you want to engage people. But for the most part, it's really good medium to close range if you are pretty accurate with all your shots. Other weapon, Retro. I didn't have a lot of success with the Retro. I'm just going to flat out say that. I don't know if it was because of the level of players that I was playing against. I don't know if it was because I haven't used the Retro a lot in Gears of War 3. I just was not having a lot of success with the Retro Lancer at all. Like, none. So, I don't know if that says anything about stopping power or whatever, but the only person that I really saw that was good with the Retro was Quinn from Epic Games. He used it quite a bit, and he had quite a bit of success with it. So, that's just me personally. Sawed Off, really situational. I mean, you had to run up on somebody and blast them, and it felt pretty good at that point. The other weapon, what am I missing now? Pistol felt pretty good. Felt just as good as it does in Gears 3, which was excellent. I feel like I'm missing one, but I can't think of what else it would be. Oh well, we're gonna move on. Grenades, frags, can't stick them to walls. That's all I really care about. Throwing overhand feels really weird at first, and then once you get used to the trajectory, then it gets better. But in general, frag grenades are pretty good, and it's always really good to throw down frag grenades and then fight someone, like fire at someone, because you can do the actions so fast, the animations are so fast that I found a lot of people would throw their grenade and be firing at you almost simultaneously, so it's like you had to react to the grenade and them firing. So you have to make really quick decisions with that. Ink Grenade was really good at area of denial. You don't want to run into an ink grenade. I'll just say that. You don't want to run into an ink grenade. If you see one, you want to try to go around it, because it's pretty good at keeping you away from certain things. You know, whether it be power weapons or just pursuing a guy that's hurt. Incendiary grenades, I didn't have a whole lot of time with those. They felt very similar to the ensigns after patch, so you didn't quite have to be as accurate with them in order to get a kill. So you know, you kind of throw them near someone and they might get them. I don't know if you guys like that or dislike it, but that's generally how I felt when I picked them up. Stim grenades, they just keep you alive. They keep you alive when you're near death. That's what I'm going to say about those. And then the last one, spot grenades. I think those are the only... Oh, actually I have two more. Spot grenades and smokes. But spot grenades, I think, are the only grenades that you can actually tag on a wall, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but I feel like that's what Quinn said. So you could throw it at a wall and it'll stick on there. And basically all it does is just spot people and let you know where they're at on the map. I didn't really find them very effective for free-for-all, so I don't know. Some people may find them really good. I just didn't use them at all. Now, smoke grenades, Predator was using them quite a bit because they would actually stun you, but you could still move. So he would like smoke you and then try to push you with the shotgun. And they're pretty good, but you know, I didn't use them enough to feel like I could effectively use that in my like play style as some way to push people. So I didn't particularly use that method, but they were very good at stunning people. And then if you were accurate, you could get a Nasher kill with them, you know, while they were stunned. I talked about weapons, talked about grenades. Last thing I'm going to talk about is the game mechanics themselves, because some of you guys had questions about these, and I made sure I could get these answered. So does the movement feel like Gears of War 3? A lot of you guys have asked that. It does feel very similar. I would say that there's less sticky movement. If you guys know what I'm talking about, or some of you wall bouncers out there, it felt like it was less sticky. An example of this is in Gears of War 3, I play alternate controls, and if you're holding your roadie run button and you try to wall bounce right immediately after you come out of like a wall or whatever, you have to retap your roadie run in order to continue running. And Gears Judgment, if I'm holding down my roadie run and then I wall bounce and then try to come back to it, I don't have to let go of my roadie run button and retap it again in order to continue running. So I could wall bounce, keep running, wall bounce, keep running, all with my finger held down on the roadie run button. So that is a major change for me personally. I don't know how that doesn't seem like that would really affect default players in any way, but that's one of the things where I was like, oh man, this is so much better now than it was on Gears of War 3, because I don't continually have to, after I got out of a wall bounce, hold down my roadie run and continue running, which caused a lot of like action pressing on my part. So if you guys can kind of picture what I'm saying, and if you use alternate, you'll think that's an awesome new upgrade, I guess, to the control scheme. And the pace of the game overall is a lot faster because there's no stopping power and because you can just fall off anywhere almost. It felt like the pace of the game was significantly faster, and just trying to keep up with where people were going, trying to guess and learning the maps at the same time kind of made it a little bit faster maybe than I could see. Now I'm interested to see how the pace of the game continues towards, you know, 1 month in or 2 months in after the game has come out, because I think people will generally have an idea of how the maps will play out, where they need to be, setting up for power weapons, etc. And I want to see if the pace kind of slows down as people continue to play. But generally speaking, the pace of the game is really fast, and movement wise it felt very good. Animation times, I know a lot of you guys wanted to know about animation times, and I guess the best thing I could say here is that they're looking into a lot of the things that you guys were concerned about, and they're trying to find ways to improve it without breaking the game, so to speak. Weapon switching is probably the most noticeable animation delay that you guys will notice. Basically there is no delay. It's like an instantaneous switch. So I think generally you guys will also like that as well. And that's about all I got for you guys on free-for-all, the weapons, how I played. I pretty much covered all the weapons that you guys know about. I picked up the long shot, felt good. Breach shot, felt good. Boom shot, feels like the strong as boom shot. Digger feels very similar. So I mean, if you play Gears of War 3, the power weapons aren't going to feel too much different, other than the breach shot versus long shot discussion, which I think a lot of people will have some very strong opinions about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next time, I will catch you guys later. Peace. Killacious. Obliterific. Destruction Nation.